Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing chapter 2 of chapter where during the first day of school. And this chapter is called Stupid Pet Tricks. So let's start. 2 weeks passed. Nothing happened. Mr. Gore didn't have to leave school to change his clothes. Mrs. Hernandez didn't have to call 911. And David Letterman didn't phone Tony. Everything was peaceful until the first day of Pet Week. Kids jabbered excitedly as they entered the classroom and took their seats. The following message was printed neatly on the chalkboard. Dear kids, please remember that this is Pet Week. Let's learn something and have fun with our animals. Your friend, Tom Gore, aka Mr. G, and to a foolish few, Mr. Gorilla. Dean Smith has a snake wrapped around his neck. Dean was the meanest kid in class. Everybody called him Mean Dean, the bully machine, because he was a 5th grade thug. Anna had a tiny black kitten climbing on her head. Casey O'Neill had an empty birdcage on her desk. She's very forgetful. Everybody called her Spacey Casey, which wasn't totally true because she's still the only kid in class who could do multiplication problems in her head. And Tony had a fuzzy white Pekingese with a flat face sitting on his lap. His dog looked like it ran into a brick wall at 60 miles an hour. Quiet class, Mr. Gore said, clapping his hands. Welcome to Pet Week. Mr. G, somebody else. Dino's face looks like he's a swollen blueberry. I think the head's gonna explode. Pop. Mr. Gore walked over to Dean and took a close look. Yes, I think you're right. He grabbed the snake and slowly unwound it from Dean's neck. It's about time, Mr. Gorilla, said Dean, gasping for air. What took you so long? Mr. Gore said nothing, rolled his eyes, and then wrapped the snake back around Dean's neck. The class cheered. As I was saying, continued Mr. Gore, this week is special. Each of you will share your pet with the class. Today, Anna, Tony, and Casey will share their pets with us, and Dean might if his head doesn't explode. Mr. Gore walked over to the large aquarium that was next to his desk. It wasn't nearly as big as a bathtub. It had no fish in it, but it was full of water. And I have a special surprise, he said, tapping inside the aquarium. Later today, we'll get our own class pets. Anna's mom is bringing us 10 goldfish. The class cheered again. Let's get started. Tony, why don't you go first? Tony carried his white puffball to the front of the room. This is Meatball, said Tony. He's going to make me famous. How? Asked Mike Elway, who had his finger up his nose. Everybody called him Gold Digger because he was a world-class nose picker. Stupid pet tricks, said Tony. What? Mike continued to dig for gold. Like on the Late Show with David Letterman? Sometimes people bring their pets on his show to do stupid pet tricks. So, said Mike. So, said Tony. Someday, Meatball and I will be on the show. Yeah, right. Mike wasn't convinced. Mr. Gore was getting impatient. Let's get started. My assistants will now get our props, Tony said. Mo disappeared into the hallway and returned dragging a miniature trampoline. He placed it halfway between the hallway door and Mr. Gore's desk. Then he pulled 2 bandanas out of his back pocket. TB, I don't like the look of this, Mr. Gore's voice sounded funny. Don't worry, said Tony. Everything's under control. My assistant will explain. Mo bowed before the class. Ladies and gentlemen, you will now see an amazing trick. I will blindfold Meatball. He will run and leap onto the trampoline, flip through the air, and then land on TB's arm. The real trick is that TB will also be blindfolded. Wow, said Anna as her kitten jumped onto Dean's head. Cool, said Mike as he jammed his finger far as possible up his nose. Beautiful, mumbled Casey as she stared at her empty bird cage. Stupid, gasped Dean as he struggled to free his head from the kitten and the snake. Exactly, said Tony. Stupid pet tricks. David Letterman is really going to love this. I have the feeling that I won't. Mr. Gore folded his arms over his huge chest and then ran a corner of his desk. Mo blindfolded Tony stood him next to Mr. Gore's desk facing the trampoline. Mo blindfolded Meatball and carried him out into the hallway. He placed the dog on the floor facing the trampoline. Go, said Mo. Meatball raced into the classroom. Jump, said Mo. Meatball leaped into the air, came down, and landed perfectly on the trampoline. He bounced off it and flipped through the air like an Olympic gymnast. Tony waited with open arms. Meatball missed Tony's open arms and sailed into the aquarium like a miniature cannonball. Whoosh! Unfortunately, Mr. Gore, his desk, and the floor all took a direct hit. And nothing was spared. Not again, Tony, Mr. Gore yelled as he dropped off the desk. His face shot out from under him and he landed as a thud on the wet floor. Nobody made a sound. Not one kid, not 10 kids, not any kids. The class just stared at Mr. G. Then Anna broke the spell and ran up to the front of the room. Fabulous, TB, she said. Thanks. Tony couldn't see her, but she could also smell sort of sweet like baby shampoo. He loved the smell of baby shampoo. His heart beat like a drum and his face turned red. I'm going to get a job at McDonald's, Mr. Gore grunted, propping himself up on one elbow. Flipping burgers has got to be safer. An explosion of voices engulfed the classroom. Will we get free fries? How about milkshakes? I want a million cheeseburgers. I want to meet Ronald McDonald. I want to marry Ronald McDonald. Then the Terminator walked into the room. All mouths immediately closed. All heads immediately turned toward Mrs. Hernandez and even the meatballs. I'm dead now, thought Tony as he pulled himself off the bandana. What's going on in here? Mrs. Hernandez asked. Where's Mr. Gore? I'm down here. It only took Mrs. Hernandez 10 seconds to figure out what was going on. Mr. Gore has to go home and change clothes. Mrs. Hernandez's secretary had to watch Mr. Gore's class. Tony and Mo had to go to the principal's office. That night at the dinner table, Tony's mother asked, Tony, why can't you watch cartoons like a normal kid? I don't know, Mom. Tony slipped a spaghetti noodle into his mouth and tomato sauce splattered all over his chin. He's not normal, that's why, said Maria. Speaking of not normal, said Tony, it looks like somebody just performed a nuclear test on your hair. Maria had just made a fashionable change in hair color, from sun bleached blonde to pukey reddish orange. That's enough, both of you. Tony's father took a bite of garlic toast. Butter dripped down his Kansas City Chiefs t-shirt. As for you, Mr. Madison, Mrs. Hernandez informed me that you'll be missing recess for a week and will clean hamster cages instead. Was it worth it? Well, I guess not, Tony hesitated. You guess? Now listen closely, young man. I don't want any more calls from Mrs. Hernandez. Do you understand? Yes, sir, said Tony. And Maria, please boycott future nuclear tests on her. Yes, sir, said Maria. May I be excused? Asked Tony. I'm going to go write another letter to David Letterman. Yes, you may, said Tony's mother, after you load the dishwasher. And for your information, you'll be doing the dishes by yourself all week. And I suggest that you don't test our patience any further. Yes, ma'am. Keep up the good work, TB, British stickered. Maybe I'll never have to do the dishes again. Tony stuck his head out. Maria, Mom, would you mail my letter first thing in the morning? You read it? I'll mail it. Thanks. Dear Mr. Letterman, did you get my first letter? I hope so. My dog Meatball and I are dying to be on your show. We were ready for stupid pet tricks. Here's another top 10 list you might want to use sometime. The top 10 signs your teacher is having a bad day. During break time, he drinks out of a coffee mug and forgets that it's full of a pain. That's best coffee I've ever had. 9. During PE, he sends the class to Toys R Us. During math, he insists that 8 plus 9 is 89. During social studies, he insists that Disney World is the capital of the United States. 6. During science, he insists that babies come from Mars. 5. During reading, he insists that Harry Potter is really you-know-who. 4. During faculty meeting, he calls the principal the Terminator instead of a real name. 3. During an art lesson, he staples his tongue to the bulletin board instead of your class project. 2. During homeroom, he fills out the whole school attendance slip and writes a name at the top of the absent list. 1. During pet week, he takes a shower in class instead of at home. Sincerely, Totally Baloney. P.S. number 1 really happened. Call me and I'll explain. My phone number is 816-555-0942. I can't wait to be on the show. By the way, my mom records your shows for me, and I watch after school every day. And when I'm really bored, I watch the old late show, returns on cable. And that is the end of chapter 2. Next one we'll have is World War III. And so I hope you guys enjoyed this book and the chapter 2. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, week, everything. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.